It was the back end of a wet night, and the office smelled like cold coffee and last week's cigarettes. Dale had her coat half on when the door opened. The woman who came through it wasn't selling anything, wasn't crying about anything, and wasn't looking past me for a richer man. That in this city is the rarest kind of trouble there is.
"We're closed, miss. The detectives had a long day pretending to work. But you went and walked in anyway, so I'd say you already know that."
I know what time it is. I've been watching that clock for 9 hours, deciding whether to come here or not come here at all. The not coming had a furnace at the end of it. I picked this.
She didn't sit until I pointed at the chair, and when she sat, she kept her purse on her knees like it had something living in it. Dale caught my eye on her way to the hat rack and gave me the smallest shake of her head. Not danger, worse. A straight one, and straight ones get hurt. All right, you pick this. Most people lead with a name. Lead with what's in the purse instead.
I keep municipal records. Birth, death, the deeds. The things nobody reads until somebody dies over them. Yesterday, a man I've never been introduced to handed me a file and told me to burn it. He said it was clerical, outdated. He smiled when he said it, which is how I knew it wasn't. I read it before I lit the match. It's clean. Every line of it is true, which is the only reason a man like that wants it gone. So I made a carbon, and I fed the original to the fire, like a good girl. This is the carbon.
She laid it on the blotter the way you'd set down something still warm. Onion skin, a clerk's neat hand, an office stamp from a desk that does its erasing quietly. I'd kept a thing like this in a drawer not long ago. I knew exactly what it weighed.
He's not a trusting man. Tonight he counts the ashes to be sure the weight is right. And when he does, he'll find a file's worth of paper went to smoke, and a file's worth came back. He'll know there's a second one walking around. He just won't know it's sitting on your desk.
Outside, the rain kept its own count against the glass. A straight woman had handed me a true thing nobody was allowed to keep, and somewhere across town a careful man was kneeling at a cold furnace doing arithmetic. By morning the numbers wouldn't add up, and the only place they'd come up short was right here, under my hand. The Chronicle newsroom never slept. It just got louder. Typewriters going like gunfire, copy boys running like the building was already on fire. Flynn sat in the middle of it the way a spider sits in the middle of a web, patient and waiting for something to land. Tonight, the something was me.
Don't sit down. You'll only make the chair nervous. I know why you're here. The civic record's getting walked back file by file. Somebody in the municipal building counting paper after hours. You came to find out how close it runs to your door. Fair trade. You tell me what you can, I tell you what nobody's printed.
I'll give you weather, Flynn, not names. A clerk's file came up. The kind of clerk who signs a thing and then stops existing on paper. I want to know who's doing the reading and why a dead-end name buys that much attention.
That's the beauty of it, the reading isn't all coming from upstairs. There's a record supervisor, Halloran, runs the basement stacks. 20 years ago, he skimmed a relief fund, pennies on the dollar, never enough to hang for. Now the audit lands in his lap and he's volunteered to lead it. You follow the dollar? He's not protecting the city. He's using the big broom to sweep his own corner clean, bearing his own theft inside the official recheck.
Erasing a name under cover of straightening the books. I've seen that method before, Flynn. I've got it locked in a drawer. The difference is the man who taught it to the city never left a fingerprint. This one did. And there it was. For 23 cases, the machine had been a thing without edges, a name that wore an office, a hand you never saw close. But Halloran wasn't the machine. He was a small man riding its broom, hiding a 20-year-old crime in the dust it kicked up, a petty thief who'd left a seam, and a seam is just a thread that hasn't been pulled yet. The records basement at 1 a.m. smelled like wet paper and old decisions. Rows of green cabinets stretching off into the dark, every drawer a man's life filed under a number. The machine had been pulling these files one by one, looking for me, so I figured I'd stop running through the stacks and start putting something in them.
You don't belong down here. If a man fights an audit, The audit notices him. That's the part you keep getting wrong.
Who said anything about fighting it? The thing's hungry, it pulls files, it reads them. So we feed it. One file, the honest one, with the supervisor's skim sitting in it where the recheck can't look away.
The intake tray takes a stamp and a routing slip. Wrong number. And a clerk kicks it back by morning. I can make it read clean. I can make it look like it was always there. That part is mine. The part where you walk it into their own machine, that part is insane. And it's yours.
She had the hands for it, 20 years of carbon under her nails. She squared the page, set the routing slip, and turned the supervisor's quiet skim into a line item the audit would have to swallow whole. The apparatus they built to hunt me was about to bite down on the man who runs it. I laid it in the intake the way you'd lay a flower on a grave. Then I slid the drawer home. Somewhere uptown, a machine was reading the city file by file, looking for a guilty man, and tomorrow it would find one, just not the one it was sent for. The drawer met the frame with a sound like a verdict, and for once the city was going to chew up the right name. Past midnight, the office goes honest. The clients are gone, the phone's asleep, and the rain does all the talking. Dale was still at her desk, the way she gets when she's adding something up that doesn't want to balance. She had the look of a woman counting change and coming up short a dollar she could swear she had.
Let me read it back to you, the way the ledger sees it. The clerk's name is Clean. The supervisor who signed the lie is Finished. His own people did that, not us. And nobody's in the harbor over it. You know how long it's been since a night closed out like that?
A while.
A long while. So enjoy it for 30 seconds. That's a clean win. The first one I've had to file under win in I don't remember when. I'd hate for you to sit there and ruin it before the ink dries.
You ever know me to leave a clean thing alone?
No. So I'll say it, since you're chewing on it and won't. You didn't beat the thing tonight. You used it. You found the gear that was supposed to grind you, and you turned it on the crook instead. That's not the same as winning. That's borrowing the other fellow's gun and handing it back warm.
It worked, Dale.
It worked. And it watched you do it. A machine like that doesn't just chew the man you fed it. It remembers the hand that did the feeding. Tomorrow, it chokes on your crook. But it'll have learned that the eye it sent to read you can be read right back. That's a thing it didn't know this morning, and now it does, and you taught it for free.
She wasn't wrong. She's the one person in this city who hands me the bill before I've finished the meal. The clerk would sleep easy tonight, and the crooked supervisor wouldn't, and that was a good night's work by any tally a decent man keeps. But somewhere across town, a machine that had only ever felt me flinch had just watched me reach into its works and make them turn. It would chew the crook by morning, and it would remember, all the while it chewed, that the man who'd fed it knew exactly where the teeth were. 3 days of rain hadn't washed the city any cleaner, but it kept trying. I was halfway down the alley behind the Chronicle building when Flynn came out the side door with his collar up and a folded paper under his arm, looking like a man carrying good news he didn't trust.
Don't walk off. I've got the box score, and you're going to want every line of it. The record supervisor outcharged. And here's the part you'll love. They hung him on his own audit. The ledger he padded is the same ledger that buried him. Couldn't have written it better myself.
And the clerk, the one who knocked on my door scared half to death.
Transferred, clean file, clean hands, a desk across town where nobody knows her name and nobody's looking. She's sleeping nights, Flynn. Genuinely. You did that. The skim's plugged, the book's balanced, the guilty party's actually paying. When does that ever happen in this town?
He was right. It was a clean win, the kind I'd stopped believing the city handed out. The wrong was righted, the guilty man paid, the honest woman walked away whole. And standing there in the wet, I waited for it to cost me something, the way every win always had. It didn't. That was the trouble.
What's that face? I just handed you a happy ending, and you're looking at me like I read you the obituaries.
Because the little crook was never his. The man at the top never lost a dime on this one, never flinched, never even turned his head. I'd swept out a corner of his house and he hadn't felt the broom. A win that costs you nothing isn't a victory, it's a measurement. And it told me exactly how heavy the next knock would be, the one that does belong to him. The drawer was still the drawer. But tonight an honest woman was sleeping, and I let that be enough to walk home on.